Hi, y'all. Hope everybody's doing well today. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me that you can hear me. I just noticed that my hair does not look too hot. I've been spinning around the room here trying to get things ready because I'm going to do a couple of different things today. We're going to be using the Scan and Cut and the Aveneer to answer a question for Juanita to try to give her some ideas. And I'm assuming that somebody else can use these ideas as well. We're going to also, we're going to start with name drops today. And we're going to do that in the three platforms. We're going to do it basically in three platforms: BES, BE Embroidery Studio, and PE Design 11. So that should cover everybody because everybody has it. It's in all of those. And we'll go from there. So, like I said, my goal is to play with the BE Studio and to share something with you every week on it. But I also want to make sure that everybody understands, if they already have it, how to use that, how to use what you have. And if it's easier to do it someplace else, you may choose to do it someplace else. But all three programs basically have what we call a name drop. What is that exactly? It is setting up a pattern for a group. Okay, so let's say you've got a logo and you set it up you've got it all set up, and now you want to put people's names underneath it. That's how the name drops is what you do. Basically, it will create a file for you for each name without you having to go in and arrange each name. And I will sit here and tell you, PE Design and BE Studio are going to do the best job of this. BESBlue, BESSilver. I believe BESBlue has it in it. I'll open it up and double check. I know that BES4 has it. I know that BESSilver has it. But sometimes the spacing can be slightly off with that. My hair is in my eye. My hair's a problem today, guys. It's in my eyes. So let's see. We'll start there. Yes, so you drop in a name. And the nice thing about pretty much all of them is that, well, I know that we'll look at silver. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know that in BE Studio and in PE Design, you can bring in a CSV file, a comma separated value file. So basically a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet. You can bring that in and it will populate it for you. What I like about the BE Studio is, let's say it's got 3 columns in your spreadsheet and you only need 2 of them. You can exclude one of the columns. So I may fumble a little bit on this one, guys. Don't judge me too harshly because I basically learned this and haven't touched it again since last week. We've had Ice-Mageddon here in Tennessee. And it was very slick. I have fallen down the hill, taken the dog for a walk. It was a joyful time. I will have to say it's a blessing every day. But thankfully, we are starting to get a little bit of a melt today. It got above freezing, which is that's lovely. We kept power, so I can't complain. Our internet has been spotty, so if we go out today, don't blame me. It's it's the weather where we're at. We are having challenges. So let's start with name drops. I will start in PE Design, and then we'll go to the BES Studio, BESSilver software, and the BESBlue. We'll look and see if it has it in there. I'm pretty sure it does. BES4 is going to be exactly the same as BESSilver. Okay. Yeah, Knoxville didn't get it. They got the warm side of it. The warm nose hit them. What happened to us is we got snow for about 2 hours. So we got about 2 inches of snow. Then temperatures were still hovering on that freezing mark. We were actually below freezing, and we got rain, and we got more than 8 hours of rain that froze. Then it warmed up a little bit for about 2 hours, and then it came back and it was freezing rain again. So we had an extended period of freezing rain. We got about a ½ an inch freezing rain, which it's disastrous in this area. I mean, freezing rain is freezing rain. I mean, we have icicles everywhere. So, I mean, you just have a nice slick surface. Nobody was going anywhere. My husband never closes his plant. He closed his plant. So he's still home today. But they're going back. But yeah, west and south of us did not get southwest of us did not get much. So we were basically right on that line where it was fluctuating back and forth. And unfortunately, we got the freezing rain. We didn't get sleet. We got freezing rain. It was just ugly. Then our temperatures plummeted after everything went by. So what was frozen was solid. And then we got snow on top of that. So we got a little dusting of snow after the whole thing yesterday. It was kind of crazy, but everything is starting to melt, which is very nice. It started to melt yesterday, even though we didn't get above 20s. So it's just our Ice-mageddon around here. We were jokingly calling it. They're calling it Snowmageddon. They're saying we're going to get 18 inches. Well, we knew that wasn't going to happen. It never happens. When they get that excited about snow, we're not going to get it. And so we just, us in Nashville, well, I mean, we got hit. So west and south of us got worse. They got critical. I mean, their power is going to be down for days. And I believe a lot of Nashville is still down. Luckily, there's not as many out in our area as could have been. So let me flip to the right piece of software first, and we'll start, like I said, we're going to start with name drops in BE Design. Let me get out of the BE Studio here. And I'm going to make it simple, guys. We're just going to grab something in here. What have I got? We'll make a florist shop. So I'm going to make this, and we're going to transform my text, and we'll just arc it. Okay. We're going to go easy peasy today. We're not going to get really heavily into this. We're just going to put something in here that we like. So let me find a font that I like. How about that? There we go. Heavenly Florist. That doesn't look like I spelled it right. I did not. I can't spell today. This is pretty sad. Absolutely terribly sad. It just doesn't look right to me. So we're going to go to spell check. When all else fails, go to spell check. We don't have it in our software, but it was right. So, all right. It just did not look right. All right. So we've got our text. Yeah, it was right. It just didn't look right. And now we're going to add in names. So I'm going to put in a name down at the bottom. And we'll put you want to put in your longest name first in BE Design. Bottom line, longest name first. So I'm going to put that'll work. That's a nice long name. We'll give her a nice long Southern name, and then we're gonna center it all. Okay, so we're gonna grab it all. We're gonna do arrange and center, and then we'll move it all to the middle with Control M for middle. Okay, so now you're gonna grab the text on the bottom, and you're gonna scroll down over in your text properties, and you're gonna hit the check mark in front of name drop. And you want to maintain aspect ratio, okay? That's going to keep it in the box. That's why I told you to put it all, make the longest name in there first. If you needed to add spaces, do it before you turn on name drops. And then you put your name drop list in, okay? Now, you can say, and let's see here. Why is it not giving me my second one? So I have no idea why it's not giving me my second column, but go to the next one, Sally. Go to the next one, Henry. All right, so now what you can do is you can send it to a folder if you had a USB. If your machine was attached to via USB, you could do USB link. If you had a multi-needle ready and it was via wireless link, you could do that. We are going to go to a folder because that's the only option I have right now. So I'm going to say to folder, and we will call it name drops to live. Okay. And we'll say, okay. And now it's going to do that. It's finished putting it out, and we'll just say, okay. And now if you go back to the first name, it will be there, but you can always come back into your name drops list and you're going to see the names that are listed there. I'm going to just say, okay. And we're out of it now. So I'm in Georgina's. If I go to options and I go to design database, and I go to my D drives, this PC, my data drive. So wherever you saved it to, I know that mine went to Cindy Facebook Lives, I do believe, right here. And here's name drops, and there it is. So these are my files. If I want to wirelessly send them to my machine, I pick the machine that's attached. I don't know if I don't know which one my Aveneer is, but we'll go with that one right there. I have no clue if it's truly attached or not right now, but we'll add those to our writing list, and then you can send it to the machine at that point. Okay. So that's one way to do it. Now, let's see here. I'm going to delete these, remove those from my writing list, and we will actually delete those. Okay, so now how about if I had a CSV sheet? So I'm going to do Excel here for just a second, and we'll make us one. Any spreadsheet will do this. I have no idea what I'm putting in here. Jalina. All right, so that gives you an idea. But honestly, you would have your customer send you this. I'm going to do a save as, and we're going to choose a CSV file as my format. There it is, comma separated value, comma delineate. Oops, let's see here. There we go, right there. Let's do that one. And we're going to put this in Cindy's. We're going to go here, Facebook Live Cindy. And we're going to call this name drops. Okay, so now let's go back to PE design. So this is, you're assuming your customer sent you this. I'm going to go to my name drop list. We're going to go back here, and we're going to import a CSV file this time. So I'm going to delete all these others out. and we'll import a CSV file. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to find that file that I just created. Oh, hold on. Let me close this file. There we go. So now it's got it there. I don't understand why it's not giving me my two values. I should have a second column. Interesting. Okay, that's very bizarre, guys. I'll work on that one. It should give me those fields, and I don't understand why it's not giving me the two fields. Let's see if it lets me grab both of these and do it. Then I get two fields. So I guess I needed a second. Okay, that answers that question. Okay, let's take off name drops here and take off name drops here. But we'll make this 2 lines of text. That's a change in operation. Okay, so now we've got Michelle. We're not going to worry about whether it's, we're going to make sure we're aligned at the bottom. And we will, actually, we need to make sure these are grouped together. And then we will select it all and align it. There we go. Now, ungroup. Actually, that's fine. Let's leave it grouped. Name drop list. Now I've got 2 fields. Okay. So then when we go, let's delete these out. Let's import that CSV. Now I've got the 2 rows. Okay. And they're there. So that's how you get around having multiple names. Evidently, it's not going to, you have to make it to where it's going to be that way. So you got to have 3 fields. All right. BESSilver. We're just going to make it one more thing. We're going to once again, let's just make us we've got a football in here. So let's go to our designs and we'll do a baseball team. And I need to change this from artwork to a column because I'm not doing artwork today. And I don't need a true type font. Evidently, the last time I worked, I did true type fonts. We're just going to do a regular font. And what do I want? We're just going to do a basic blocks. What in the world is wrong with me? Back up, apply, and now let's change that to art text. So I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to say circle text. Now with this one, you do have to do 2 different streams. In your bottom one, you can't have both. So I'm going to do And we will nab that and move it over here. I'm not worried about, what am I trying to say, color at this point. We're going to change our size. How small can I make this one? I can make it down to 7 millimeters. So we're going to go to about 10. I didn't go as small as it can go. I just needed it smaller. All right, so now let's grab all of this and we will align it. So let's go to our Arrange tab and do horizontal center, and we should be good. Now, if we click on this and we go to our Home tab, we are going to grab, why are you not giving me what I want? You little turkey. Let's cut this for right now. That is so weird. Okay. So BES is a bizarre one. I had to remember what we were doing here. It doesn't like to have 2 fields of text. So what you can do, once you've got it set, right mouse click on this and say preserve as stitches. Now you no longer have 2 text fields. So now when you can hit the name drops button, and there's your first one. Now, like I said, the nice thing about the P design is you can import that CSV file. We can't do that here. So I've got to add a name, and I'll put in their whatever it is. Let's see here, Sally and Morgan, and we'll add another name. And all right, now you can touch and you can preview each of them. If it's going to let me, there you go. So there's that one. You tap each of them and touch preview. Give it a second to respond. Preview. It looks like it's bigger, but it's not. It's the same size. It's just the smaller the name, the more area that you get to see up here. So it is the same thing. So we're going to say BES name drops. And save your format. So what format do you want it? If you want to come back and edit it, you still want to make sure you choose the BRF file format. Then you pick your machine format. You can pick whichever one you want. The one that's going to be most compatible with all machines is version 5. But generally, I mean, I usually pick the one that's closest to what I've got. I may leave the multi-needle one in just in case there's trims that it recognizes better. If I'm going to a multi-needle, sometimes I will put it in the DST format because it holds the trims better. Just keep that in mind. And that is an alternative format for Brother. So if I hit the DST format, I say okay. And now I say save it. I can have it not open the files. I can have it open the first file. I can have it open all files. If I have it open all files, I'm going to get them all the way across here. I'll do that just so you all can see what that looks like. It's going to do its little thing here. It's taken in a minute. And I guess it's because I had it open all the files. We'll give it a second. Once it gets done, we'll just say close. Now I'm asking a lot of my computer right now because I've got a lot of programs running. So let's see what it does. Come on. All right, while it's doing its thing, I'm going to come talk. I'm too impatient. Obviously, I'm ready for it to be done, and it's not done. Takes a little bit longer for it to create and generate its stuff. Although, like I said, I may have locked up my computer just simply because I have multiple programs running and I'm streaming. So who knows? I don't know. Not sure what's happening with it, but it's right now it's saying it's not respond. Oh, there it goes. It's responding now. You can see it's populating it, even though it's telling me it's not responding. There we go. So now I can close. And if you look, you'll see it's, I've got a view on that we don't need. I have stitch points showing. We don't need that. That is a DST format. So that is the BES name drops DST number 15. So you can see there's number 1. Shoot, I've got stitch points on all of them. There's number 2. Note to self, make sure you turn off stitch points before you do this. I don't know why I had those on, but I must have done it for some reason. But you can see that it's created one for everybody. And it's created it in all formats. And you won't see them all, but if you touch this little down arrow over here, then you can see them all. Okay. Now, how can you change a jump stitch in silver? That really depends on what you're doing. So I'm in a PES format. I need the BRF format. Let's go back to the untitled, which is our original. Jump stitches are here. This is your connection type. So you can say as digitized, which is how it's digitized, and click apply. That's going to determine where they go. It's at the way they were digitized by the digitizer. Now let's look and see what that looks like. Let's zoom in. Turn off stitch points. My goodness. So you can see there's a jump there, there's a jump there, there's a jump there, long. So that's how they were digitized. If I choose closest, it's going to do the closest that it can. Give it a second. And so you'll notice my long ones between my L's are no longer there. It's up at the top, and that's the way that one works. And then furthest is going to push it to where it's the furthest it can possibly be. Now, there is another way that you can make this happen. If you want to force trims, furthest is one of those ways. If that still doesn't work, you can always change your sew sequence to where it goes in a different direction, like right to left, which should force it to trim more often. You want to make sure that you have always on, that you have always as a lock type, so that it does do your locking stitches. But that's how you do change the jump stitches in the silver. Okay, I am going to close this out. Let's look at BESBlue just to make sure I'm not crazy. I'm pretty sure it's here as well. And if it is, then it works the same way as it did in silver. Yep, it's right there. So it's going to work the exact same as it did in silver. All right. I don't think I need to go through that whole rep again. It's there. You're good to go. Now, if you have a wireless machine and you do not have PE Design, we do have Design Database Transfer. And if you want to send it to your machine, you can send it. If you've got BESSilver or BESBlue and you do not have PE Design 11, then you can always go to Design Database Transfer. And you can, let's see here, Facebook Live, name drops. Where'd that go? Where did I send that last one to? I have no idea. I don't know where I sent that one to. Maybe here. Let's see here. Nope. Not sure where I sent that last one to. I'll have to go back and look. But hey guys, here's a feature. We're going to go up to our D drive. It should have gone to the D drive. So let's come here. Let's right mouse click and search, and we'll search for things that I've done today. We're going to do format PES, and we are going to do date modified. And today is not 1980. Let's see here. We are in January, and we are not in 1980. Let's do today's date. There we go. And let's search. So that's one of those that will give you a way to find what you did today. So there's why did it not save my, interesting. Maybe it went to the C drive. Let's see the C drive. Search. Same thing. I didn't pay attention to where it was going. I just saved them. All right, while it's doing that search, let's go over here. So let's go in and let's open up something from our design library. There is a design library built in here, and we're just going to grab something from the design library. Let's see here. How about we do... That's one. We'll go with that one. So we can change this team name. Let's go to Object Properties. Design Information. I'm just going to delete that because it's not in text format. So we're going to come in here and we're going to do baseball. We're going to do Kingston again. And we are going to arc that text. So let's come over here to Object Properties. And let's go here where it says free line. We'll just arc it. Oh, I didn't want to arc to the right. I wanted to arc. Oh, center justification. There we go. And now let's delete that. And we will put in... actually, we're going to hit this button right here. We're going to call team names. And we're going to type in that'll work. All right. So we're going to hit this little button right here. We're going to call it team names right there. Name one. I didn't need to type in it to begin with. All right, so there's number one. Okay, move it to where you want it to go. I did not need to add that text in there, the first one. Now, I can come in and type just like I did before. Or I can import the team members' names. So if I come in here and they have a sample team name, but let's see if we find my team name so that we are doing apples and apples. CSV. There's my name drop list. So you can do a text list or a CSV list. So there's my name drops, okay? And if I grab them all, I can then, you can select all, you can manage your team, you can create the designs from here. So if you create a design for each of the selected team names, it's going to do it like we did before. If you were making patches, you can do a team matrix. So it really depends on what you're going to do. Now, if you want to look at them one at a time, you can look at it and you're seeing what you're going to see. You can remove one. You can change the name order. So remember, I said I've got 3 rows here. Let's say I don't want number 2. I can take out the second one, and now I have 1. I can go back in there and I can say name 2. I can do name 1 and name 2. So then you're getting these 2. It just depends on what you want to do. If you want all 3, put all 3 in. What did it? That's weird. So I can choose which field it's going to be, and then I can make that one none. So if I wanted first and last names, now I have first and last names. All right. Now you can generate the stitches if you want to, but we are going to create the designs. And you can see it's creating me designs for each of them. And it's told you what it's done. Now it is in the name frames right now. But let's see here. What did I need to do? Like I said, y'all gonna have to give me a little leeway on this one. There's a button I have forgotten to punch. Generate stitches. Okay. So if we go back to design, there's my basketball team. Let's hit generate stitches. Stitch, generate stitches. So now my stitches are generated, and then that's when I should go create these files. So let's close out all these others. Oh, wait, cancel. Okay, so now this is when you would do that. You would say generate stitches. Okay. So that's how you do it in each of the different programs. You would want to make sure that you're saving it in your format. So, I mean, there are, if I sit here, it's got my name here. So file, export machine file, choose your format. And then just export it. Now, this is kind of cool as well. You can pick your options here, but if we went to, let's go back to the basketball team. If I go file, export machine file format, I can send them all out at one time. So I can say design team and names with stops, create multiple output files, design part only, team names only with stops, repeat design and team names. For us, generally, this is the one we're going to do. That creates the entire file with the design, with the team names, and with stops. Okay, so that's generally what you're going to want to do. If you've got multi-heads, we would talk differently, but we don't have, I don't sell a multi-head, so that's what you would do. And basically, you would choose your format, and it's going to export them all at one time. And that's telling me where it's going to go to. So it's going to my public embroidery team names. So let's go to our design database, and let's go to my C drive. Actually, I believe it's documents. Nope, it's going to be C drive. Public users. Public embroidery. Team names. Let's see here. Should be there. Oh, wait a minute. Public embroidery Studio. Team names. Huh. Well, didn't it tell me that's where it went? Let's look at that again. Export machine file.
All right, I'm going to put it in a different way, different place. We're going to say, okay, we're going to save it as that. I'm going to put it where I want it to go. We're going to go to my data drive. We're going to put it in the place we want it to go. When all else fails, put it where you want it to go. Export. Now, let's refresh. Option, display, refresh. That's probably what I should have done first of all. Documents, PC, data, Facebook Live, Cindy files. Where in the... Am I losing my mind, guys? Okay, let's see where they are. It says they are in public. Users, public embroidery studio. Team names, nope. I'll be darned. They're around somewhere. I'll find them later today. Y'all know that. Let's do one more time here. Let's refresh. Option, display, refresh. And we will search the entire computer. This PC. It'll make me do a drive today. While it's doing that, basketball team PES. Oh, there was something flying out. What was that fly out that was telling me? It didn't like the way I exported it. All right, guys. So this is going to be one of those that I'm going to have to play with. Team names. Oh, that one right there. Create multiple output files. That's probably what it is. Failed. The design cannot be. No clue. All right, we'll figure out why. I'm not sure what's going on. I'll come back to that. I want to hit something else today before I get before time runs out on us. Okay. Now, Juanita, I believe it was. Who was it that asked me this question? Hold on. Yeah, Juanita. Okay. So you have a starfish, right? I have a starfish. I have a starfish. Neither of these, because they're patterned, will scan in very well if you're wanting to do it directly into the machine. If you're wanting to go into a scan and cut and create an FCM file, this one doesn't work, but this one does, okay? This one can read more as a solid. If you want to do it on the machine itself, take a piece, you can do tracing paper or a piece of stabilizer. A piece of stabilizer is what I did, and I traced around my starfish. I just laid it over the top of it because I could see through it. This is tearaway.
which means it's super easy to, you can see through it. I couldn't find tracing paper. If I had tracing paper, I would have done that. But since I didn't, in a pinch, you can use stabilizer. This one will work on the machine. So if we're going to do it in the machine, I'm going to flip over to those cameras and we'll do it in the machine first. And then I'll show you scanning it on the scan and cut machine. This may take us a little longer than normal today, but we are going to switch cameras. I hit the wrong button. Hold on. Let me switch. Now, you're going to have to remember, I cannot see your questions for right now. I will come back and look over here in a second. But I will show you what happens with each of these. I should have turned on my TV so I could see what I was doing. All right. And I'm just laying them down on there, okay? Let me grab my remote control here to take you to the other view. Oh, wrong camera. Come on. Well, you little turkey. Camera 2, camera 3. There we go. Okay. So you can see I've just laid them down on my scan mat. If you have them attached to your project, it's not going to be near as easy. I'm going to hit my scan button. I'm in my design center and we're going to do a line design. That is optimal. Down here at the bottom, you can choose your blanket stitch because that's what you wanted and just pick a color, okay? Tap OK. Now, let me just start at the beginning here. Because I skipped a few steps here. Let's go to my design center. Hit the scan button, line design. We will scan it. And it's gonna scan my bed here. All right, so now let's go back to our screen. I'm going to show you how it converts each of them. I'm going to crop this one in first. And we'll tap this and we will touch blanket stitch and we will pick a color and say OK. Now, if you touch OK again, you'll view what it looks like. It looks like it caught pretty much everything. But if it didn't, you can say it went a little too light and touch retry. If it went too dark, you can go to the darker side and retry. I'm going to go with the middle. We're just going to go with that at the default and we'll touch set. Okay. Now we can get rid of our lines, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and touch next to see what it looks like. And that's not terrible. There's a little blurb right there. So, I mean, you may need to do a little erasing in that spot and try it again. But overall, I don't think you would notice that too terribly much. So we can back up and you can take your eraser and you can just erase it. Or what I would do is I would tap this little button right here and I would tap my magic wand. Actually, no, not my magic wand. Let's do this. Let's do lasso it. Let's zoom in, pan over, hit that lasso tool and draw around it. And then just cut it out and pan up to the other section.
See, that's my little blurb. And you can try to fix that, but it may be more trouble than it's worth. So now that part is out. All right, but so there's that one. If I close this and I go back in here and I do line design, I can move it down and try this one. These don't work. Neither one of these work in the machine itself. Let's preview it because it's picking up the texture and the pattern in the fabric. There's no fixing that. Same thing over here. This one really gets fun. So there's no way to make that one work. All right. But this one right here, you can work with. I was a little heavy in my pen in a couple of spots, and that's what happened there. So now let's go to the scan and cut. If you want to do it in software instead, you may find that easier, especially if you have the solid pink. Okay. So let me flip cameras. And I have my scan mat in here. So let me go home. Let's go camera. What number is that? 2. I have my scan mat in here. I'm going to slide in that one. And I'll slide in these. This is personally how I would do it, because I have more control here. Scan and scan to cut data and press start. Oops. I'll back that up and give you a closer up view. So you can see exactly what I did. I'm going to cancel that so you can see I went scan to cut data. Just so you can see what I did. And then you can touch this button right there. That is grabbing outlines only. You can see it grabbed that outline very well. You can crop in. Either one of those will work, but let's preview. I'm going to tell you the bottom one, that one, you've got too much stuff going in there. So either of the first two will work. I'm going to leave them all here so you can see. We'll just touch OK. And then we will save that to transfer to our Canvas workspace so that we can work with it in Canvas workspace and PE design. All right. So now let's come back over here. Let me flip back to, oops, hit the wrong button. Camera. Now, I'm going to go into Canvas Workspace. And we're going to share that screen. So you can see my traced one would work, as would my original. Now you'll notice there's a difference in size in these two. Now, obviously, one of them's in a different direction, the other one, but this one's a little bit bigger than this one. So this is going to give you your most realistic fix. This one is a no-go. We'll just do File, Export, FCM. Now, if you already have it, let me delete this. If you already have it adhered to your project, the one that you're planning on using, we're going to go to our Scan and Cut tab. We're going to choose Import, and we're going to choose the starfish. There it is. You've got it. All you have to do, if you've already got it adhered and you don't need to do any tack downs or any of that, you can do your blanket stitch and you're done. Okay. I personally would prefer this method. I think you're going to get better results, and it's super simple. Now, if you want all 3 steps, you can do your applique wizard. We need to, first of all, ungroup. Why is it doing that? You want to replace it. You want a blanket stitch. Say okay. There you go. Now I'm going to do this twice to make sure that our blanket stitch is the, oh, wait, what happened there? I must not have a closed shape here. Yes, I do not have a closed shape. So let's look at this one. Select point tool. And let's see what we have that's wrong. Somewhere there is an opening. That could be fun. It's not there. Okay, shapes. Let's change this to a zigzag stitch, and let's make it a chunky monkey. Interesting. Something is either open or crisscrossed, and I do not see it. Usually what I just did would highlight it. Today is not my day. Aha. Delete. Let's see if that makes a difference. No. Yes, you can remove the hidden stitches by split at point. Aha, right there. Okay, so there's my opening. When I right mouse clicked on it and there was no split at point, now I'll nab it, pop it on there, and that should work. That should have closed our shape. Applique wizard, now we can choose replace. There you go. If I overlapped the two, yes, I could remove hidden stitches. So what you would do is, this is your top layer, this would be your bottom layer. Right mouse click and ungroup the bottom layer. Come here, select point tool, and zoom in. Add a node and right mouse click, split at point, wherever you want to get rid of it. There's your line. You can delete it, and you would do that to each of the points, each of the parts. Up to you, okay? But that is your split at point is the route you would go. You would not do remove overlap stitches, because that would be, well, let's see here. If I did remove overlap stitches, I'd have to, first of all, turn this into a fill. And then this one would have to be a fill. But when you do that, bang, bang, select home, Modify overlap, remove overlap stitches. Now turn off. You're still going to have one running stitch, but it basically took away your overlapped stitches. Okay. So you can't really do it to the blanket stitch, but you can do it because you have to do the split it point for your blanket stitch. Otherwise, it's not going to be very good. Okay. So guys, that's basically what I've got for you today. I will figure out what's going on with the name drops in BE Studio. We'll play with it and see what I did wrong. Obviously, I did something. Not sure exactly what, but I did something. So who knows? We'll play and see. You're welcome, Juanita. I was trying to think of, I mean, there's multiple ways you can work with it. I personally would do the last one I did. For me, I like creating the applique before cutting it out. That is my method. I know it's going to fit then. That's one thing I did not look at. Let's undo and undo a couple of times. So I wanted to double check and see. I got squirrel, you know. Somebody asked a question and I went off on that tangent. So let's see here. Now let's go to our scan and cut tab and let's import those shapes again to see if they are the same size, because they'll land in the same place. Where's starfish? There they are. And let's change their color to black. And they are basically in the exact same spot, so they're fine. It may be a little bit wide, but I don't think it's terrible. Let me move it to the front. So it would be hidden by your covering stitch. So you know, you can go that route, but that's just that. My personal preference is to do it through the software first and then cut. But you've already got a cut shape, so you got to figure out how to make it work. That's how you make it. Those are the methods that I can give you. So, all right, guys, send me questions if you have questions. I will not be on next week. I will be in St. Louis at Oh So Personal. I'll be in St. Louis and O'Fallon and what's the name of the other store? They're both Oh So Personal, but I'll be at O'Fallon on one day, and then I will be on the other day. What is next week? Collinsville, Illinois. So I'll be in Collinsville, Illinois on the 3rd, and I will be in O'Fallon on the 4th, I believe is what they told me. You can sign up on their site. That is where that's where you sign up. It's an open house for them. They're a new Brother dealer. So we're going to talk about what's new with Brother and kind of do a little of this and a little of that. And so come join us, come play for the day. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day. I will see you in, it's going to be a couple of weeks, guys, because I am traveling next week and then I'm traveling the next week. So the 17th will be my next live. That's what I can tell you. The 17th is my next live. So I'm gone until then. All right, y'all have a great rest of your week. Stay safe, stay warm. Hopefully you keep power. Hopefully, slipping and sliding. So y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.